1 John 2:29 is pretty straightforward, except for an unusual placement of a kai. Eon edeta hati dikaias estin, genoskete hati kai, pas ha poiun, tein dikaiasunein, ex autu gegenetai. If you know, and remember the perfect of oida functions as a simple aorist, so it's if you knew, he is righteous, predicate nominative. You know, and again, whenever there's a shift of tense, it's often pretty important that you have known in the past that he is righteous, which means that now in the present you can know that. And then here's the unusual kai, that also each one doing. Now let's stop back here. You know that also everyone who does, you got a substantival participle, right? An indefinite construction. In English, though, we would say, you also know that. The idea is you can be sure of, you can be confident that. And so if you want to move the kai back here in your translation, that's fine. You know also that everyone who does, again, an indefinite construction, the one who does, everyone who does righteousness from him has been born perfect, right? Remember again, when you have gamma, nu, and an O-class vowel, it's from gnosko. And when you have gamma, epsilon, and then a double nu, it's genao. That's how I keep those two words separate. So in terms of the phrasing, it's pretty straightforward. You start with a dependent clause, third class condition. If you knew, now hati introduces a dependent clause, so on its own line. If you knew that he is righteous, now you get to your main verb and subject. You know, well, what do you know? Hati is a dependent clause. You know that everyone who does righteousness, and I'm going to put the prepositional phrase on its own line. You'll see why in a second. So the main verb is genoskete, right? The subject is the you that's in there. So we have to indent the if part. So we'll just do that. And then if you know, then this is what you know, that he is righteous. Then you know that. So here's what you know. And then here's why I wanted to do this. You know that also. What is the subject of gegenetai? Well, the subject is the whole phrase, isn't it? Everyone who does righteousness has been born of him. So I wanted to be able to indicate that. So I think the way I'm going to do that is to put this under you know that, and then put a tab there, and then pull it over a bit. And we're going to have a word wrap issue here. So I'm going to, not the most elegant way to do it, but you know that everyone who does righteousness, that person has been born from him.